I think so. I think
do
that,
too.
I mean, that sounds like, I don't want to say that it can't lose, but the Bengals have proven they're gonna hang around. But if the Rams win by 13, would that shock you?
No.
I know.
No.
Me neither. That's the hard
Which
part.
you bring up an interesting number there, and we'll get more into these some of the novelty props next week.
Yeah.
The shortest rushing touchdown under 1.5 yards, the largest lead under 14.5. We'll do some of that next week. That's a lot of
Okay.
fun around this game.
Yes.
Okay, we'll do
Yes.
some of that.
Yes.
All right, let's dive. You want to talk some props here real quick?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's do this. All right, so there's our teaser. We got to start with our guy. Game within the game, Cooper Kupp as just cashing. We just roll with Cooper Kupp.
If I had a son, I'd change his name right now to Coop. Just call him Coop. Wouldn't call him Cup, but I call him Coop.
We've seen this 7.5 line a bunch. DraftKings in particular got wise to it. 8.5, bumped it up to 8.5.
Have to.
It's plus money at 8.5.
Over.
I mean, it has to be over.
Oh, well,
over,
plus
yeah.
money?
Over 8.5 is plus money, plus 105 on DraftKings Sportsbook. So here's the thing. And you said it earlier in the program. The game script could turn out the other way, where the Rams are up, they're running, they're going. But it also might not. They also might just have to be feeding Cooper Kupp as they have all season. Dave, he averages 8.5 receptions per game. So we're getting plus money on his average. He's hit this number over in 11 of 20 games. 11 of 20. And as the games have gotten bigger, they've fed him more the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
So I get the potential for the game script is what costs you here, but I've got to play the over on Cooper Kupp. I mean, I know we like to look for unders in Super Bowls. I've been riding overs on Cooper Kupp all year. I'm not stopping now. Give me plus money for 9 catches. I'm in.
The only one he didn't was the playoff game against the Arizona Cardinals, remember?
Yes. Yep.
And they didn't have to throw the ball because that was the game that Akers announced his presence with authority and came back, and they ran and ran and ran and kept running and ran and ran and ran. And the defense took over the game. And then that one drive that just hit Coop. Okay. 62 yards, I believe he had, 6 receptions. I believe he did have a touchdown. Cooper Kupp to score a touchdown. Another gift that keeps on giving in the book for people that are betting it.
You book guys are catching us minus 200 on DraftKings.
Yeah.
So that thing's gone 135 to 150 to minus 200. You want it? Here, you want it? Go ahead.
Yeah. Listen, nobody knows shit, but sometimes in the book, you're like, listen, we put up with I used to call it the FU price. You want to bet it? FU, go ahead, bet it. You're going to pay. You're going to pay. And people keep betting it. And the Super Bowl handle's incredible for these props. And everybody that bets the props will have a Cooper Kupp prop. It will be the most, whether it's the receptions, the yards, the touchdown, minus 200. Is that enough to keep you off?
Probably not. I mean, I might just ride Cooper. He's made us a lot of money, so I'll reinvest. You're giving me plus money on over 8.5. It might be a loser. I'm taking it. I'm not going to watch the Super Bowl after riding Kupp all year and seeing him catch all these balls. I am not going to sit in the Super Bowl with no Cooper Kupp ticket, especially at plus money, and watch him get 12 receptions. I'm just not doing it. Now, he might get 7. One. He might get 7. Right. I might lose the bet. I'm playing the number. Give it to him.
He might get 8, and you lose the bet.
Like fine.
That's the one that's going to be hard to stomach if he gets 8. But you're okay with it?
Yeah.
It'll be the only Cooper Kupp prop where you're going to get plus money. It's the only one that you can look at all of them. Unless we find some crossboard prop or something where he's the dog to total goals scored in a Florida Panthers game, maybe something like that, or some, who knows? But yeah, it's the only plus money prop. Listen, sometimes the price is the Super Bowl. Sometimes you're going to have to lay the price, but that's okay. I've seen guys come in to bet that there wouldn't be a safety and lay minus 1,400. They would give me $14,000 to win a dime, to win 1,000. Couldn't wait to do it. So don't let anybody tell you sometimes, you can't lay the juice. You can lay the juice. If it wins, it's fine. And if you're okay with paying a little bit extra juice on a price or something and losing, do it anyway. Don't let anybody tell you can't lay the juice. That's
Well,
ridiculous.
don't worry. We're going to get to laying the juice coming up in another section here in just a second. You fine. You want to advise us to lay the juice? I'm going to get you to lay the juice. That's coming.
Go. What do you
All right.
got?
So plus money on over receptions. Give it to me. His yards, Dave, his yards at over total sitting at 102.5, over minus 140. Okay. But here's the deal. He's averaging 117 yards per game. So he's over that number in 13 of 20 games and 7 of his last 9.
Oh, man.
I mean, the numbers are telling you take it. Again, I get the game script disclaimer, but here's the other thing. It's not a lock that the Rams are going to be up either. They might have to throw the ball.
True.
And if they throw the ball, OBJ and Cooper Kupp, let's go. Here we go. Load them up.
Well, yeah, and we got to worry about Higbee. Did you see Higbee get taken off the field? And I mean, we haven't heard yet exactly if he's going to play or not. If he don't play, we got the backup tight end, the only other tight end on the roster, who, by the way, should be a look as far as props, receptions, yards, things like that. But without him, that means more for those other 2 guys.
And again, I will say this. You talk about game script. In a big moment, what's Stafford likely to do? Is he likely to go away with the guy that he feeds constantly? No. He's likely, if he's throwing the football, OBJ and Cooper Kupp are going to be targets.
Right.
I mean, I'm not breaking news saying that. But biggest game of the year, you're not going to go to your guys less. You're going to trust your guys more.
Right. Exactly.
So
and
feed them.
Do you
Okay, let me give you one more.
Go ahead.
While we're on Cooper Kupp, and again, I'll get to OBJ in a second because we fired on a prop already on game within the game on Monday. Put the Rams hat on. We're having a Rams discussion. Very good wardrobe change. Get the glasses off. Get the Burrow glasses off. They distract me anyway. Get them off.
All right, God, sorry.
Get them off. All right, thanks. There we go. Now we can roll. Now we're serious about Cooper Kupp.
Yes.
Plus money on his reception prop. Minus 140 on his over 102 yards. Let me slide this into you.
Okay.
No team has allowed more receptions to wide receivers, to slot wide receivers in particular, than the Bengals this season. Does that favor Cooper Kupp? Does that favor Cooper Kupp?
Say that again for the people.
Courtesy of Pro Football Focus, they've been very good to us this year, right? We've made some money off our Pro Football Focus.
PFF.
Thank you. Thank you,
saying PFF all the time. Thank you.
Appreciate you. I might get a PFF jersey to wear with my Cooper Kupp jersey and just alternate them. No team has allowed more receptions to slot receivers this season than Cincinnati.
That's bad for Cincinnati's defense. Wow.
And this is not the slot receiver you want to give up.
Hell no, this is the slot receiver. This is the best slot receiver in the league.
Load it up. Come on with Cooper Kupp. Come on. Come on. You can give me some unders next week. You can give me unders you want next week. Fine. Let's go. Here we go.
Not on Cooper Kupp. I don't want no unders now. I hear that.
Let's roll.
Check that.
We'll get in. I'll save you a little Cooper Kupp because we got to talk Cooper Kupp in every show. We'll do longest reception next week because you already know I'm going to be on that.
Yeah. His beard is tremendous too, by the way. I know you got to be a big fan.
That's what I'm trying to do a Cooper Kupp. Mine's a little grayer. I'm a little older than Cooper, but
yeah, you might have to put a little touch up in there. That'd be good. You could pull off the Cooper Kupp. I'll be Stafford. You be Cooper Kupp. I'll pretend like I'm throwing. You can pretend like you're receiving. It's merch. We got that merch, 8 in a box merch. We might have to.
Yeah, let's get some merch. All right. You want one more? You want one more Ram prop since you have the hat on that we need to discuss because you've already said it a couple times. One more.
Yes.
One more. The game script matters here.
Okay.
What we just talked about matters.
Yeah.
We gave out Cam Akers under 59.5 rushing yards last week. We got it. Okay. Cashed.
Okay.
It's up to 62.5 for this week.
Okay.
And most of the reason is what you said, right? The anticipation of them being the favorite, of them getting up, of them running the football.
Yes.
But let me give you some numbers. If you want to get an under in there, you want me to start doing unders? I'll give you let's look at a little Cam Akers potential under rush yards.
Okay.
All right, here we go. He's averaged 52 yards per game in the playoffs after missing the regular season. Yeah. Right? So he came back in week 18, got his feet wet, 5 carries, but he's only averaging 52 yards. The reason we went under last week is because the yards per carry were down around 2.5, number one. Number two, he had those fumble problems against Tampa Bay. We thought, is that going to limit his carries? I mean, I've been around football my whole life. I don't know a lot of coaches that say, hey, you know what? You're having trouble and you fumbled a bunch. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you more carries.
In the playoffs.
That doesn't happen in the playoffs. So what do? They give you less carries. Sonny Michel, what happened last week? Here comes Sonny Michel. right?
Mm-hmm.
He got in there. I'll give you
Mm-hmm.
some numbers again from Pro Football Focus. Sonny Michel took 57% of the snaps last week versus 40% for Cam Akers.
Did he really? He was in for
Yes.
that many more?
Sonny Michel had 11 touches to Akers 14. So we thought last week they might, we didn't know if they'd split, but our theory was if Sonny Michel gets 5 or 6 or 7 carries, that's harder for Akers to get there. That played itself out. Akers also might have got dinged, right? We saw him come out, maybe had a shoulder, maybe had a little something. That probably contributed as well. Where's his health moving forward? So we've got all of that factored in. Mix in what I said is average 2.6 yards per carry in the playoffs. That's not lighting you on fire. So unless he pops one, which is exactly what we said last week, he may pop one here on the Cincinnati defense, and then we're in trouble, and the total would go over. But every other number is pointing to you that you have to look under here. I'll give you another one from Pro Football Focus. During the regular season, the Bengals saw the fourth fewest rushing attempts. Just stop there. And they were 10th in rushing yards per game allowed.
That's top third. That's pretty good. I would have never guessed that.
That's not bad.
That's not
and
bad.
So again, part of the handicap is Akers hasn't got greased up in a yards per carry, so he's going to need the volume. The reason those props were rising was because he did get volume in the first couple of playoff games. That started to change last week. Is Sonny Michel going to be in there more? Are they splitting carries? So even if they're winning and going run heavy, are they splitting, and that affects volume? Should you look under on Cam Akers at 62.5? Thoughts?
I think you need to. I saw a lot of Michel. I had no idea, though, that he actually got more snaps or more touches than Michel.
He had less touches, more snaps. Less touches, more snaps. Yes.
Okay, so what I did notice is that he was the blocking back. When there was going to be a blitz, Michel was the guy to pick it up. He is by far the guy they trust in those passing situations. So he was out there more for that. So again, we're trying to handicap the game script. We don't know. This would be a fantastic in-game opportunity. Pre-game, I'm with you thinking under is the play. And the number moved up because Cincinnati's defense is not San Francisco's defense.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati didn't see this team multiple times going into the game and knew what to take away. So, and we got to worry about his health. There's a lot of questions going into it, but my initial lean on the Akers thing would be under. But if I like the Rams and I like this Rams lid and all this stuff going on with the Akers, I think I would play it over. So again, we give the people great information, both sides of a thing. Here you go. You tee it up, and I make a decision. Right now, I don't know. I will know more as we go. I want to see Akers. I want to hear the talk about practice, maybe who's getting more reps, who's not. But I think one thing you can't handicap is a 35-yard run. As soon as he breaks one of those, it's going over. We're in trouble.
Yeah.
Longest rush? What's longest rush? Can we get in on that? That might be the prop.
So here's the thing, though. So the way I look at that is I can't take away every condition, right? I can't. Nope. If I could, I'd load up and I'd buy a new house based on my prop bet. But I can't eliminate every condition. So if the condition to beat me is he's got to bust one off, which he hasn't really done. He's got a long of 15 here in the postseason. Okay. I mean, if I'm limited and I give you all of those numbers right there, and you tell me in the Super Bowl unders are more popular and maybe they get a little more conservative, and again, the fumble problems were still there, right? You're not going to just suddenly say, okay, those didn't happen. Here's 25 carries again. That would surprise me. If he gets 25 carries, all right, then we're in some trouble. But that line is also pushing up, and he's not getting to that number. He hasn't got to that number yet. So give me. I think I'm going to play under. I haven't done it yet. I might try and wait to see where it goes, but I also don't want to lose some yardage. So that's where I am on that.
All right. I like it.
All right, there. I'm going to have a bunch more for you next week. I'll hold you there with props, right? I don't want to fire on. Well, I probably will. I'll probably fire on 15 before we get to next week, but I'll try and save it.
We did cash considerations yesterday. Me, Newbie, and CH. Newbie, how many props did you have already? Already locked and loaded.
At least a dozen, maybe up to 15. I'm cut from the same cloth as B. Howe.
Attaboy, newbie. Here we go. There's one game left. There's one game left, Sheripan. I got to start firing on stuff. I got one game left.
That's, believe me, we'd be in the book right now. It's Wednesday. We're recording in Vegas. The big reveal is tomorrow at the Westgate. John Murray and Sherman and Ed and Rexy and all the guys that I know down there. We've been talking, texting. I'm like, listen, I'm going to tweet different books, different pictures. When are the props out? You must get asked 1,000 times, when are the props coming out? When are the props coming out? In Vegas, they don't come out till Thursday night. And what happens for years in Vegas is that Thursday night, the Westgate would put them out, but they don't put out the sheets until Friday morning. So a lot of people from different books would scoop them Friday morning, grab the sheets, and then go. And then all of a sudden, everybody's props would get released on Friday or Saturday at different places because they were copying. But what they didn't know is that there's a prop on those sheets that's fake. And then it's a wrong number. And that's a little inside secret that nobody knows, but nobody knows which prop it is. Well, I mean, those of us in the know which prop it is. But sometimes some people put that prop up and some people made some real money, or they got egg on their face putting up a prop on things that don't exist. That's enough about the prop. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, click on another video right here on the screen. And if you really liked it, consider subscribing below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.